Hey everybody, it's your girl Jazz, and we are back for Sisters. So this review is going to be a little bit different, and I owe you guys an apology, a huge apology. I am 2 weeks behind on my reviews, and I need to apologize to my viewers for that. I'm very, very sorry about that. Life be lifing. My baby girl had pneumonia, so I was in mama mode. Before I start the reviews, I want to take a moment and I want to say to everybody that is watching and listening, please take care of your homes, take care of your bodies, take care of yourselves, because COVID cases are definitely on the rise again. There's definitely something in the air, and make sure you are keeping yourselves covered in prayer. Make sure you are keeping yourselves protected with masks. Do whatever you have to do to keep your homes protected as far as your immune systems and stuff like that. All of that. So yeah, I wanted to make sure I put that disclaimer out there. So let's go ahead and get into it with these episodes. And this is going to be a little bit different. I am going to tie in both of the episodes. Okay? So let's get into it. So we are reviewing episodes, I think. Let me check. Hold on. I want to say this is 18 and 19, 19 and 20. I want to say this is 19 and 20. Either or, I'm reviewing the last two episodes together. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into it. So the episode before last, basically what happened there is it started off with Karen. She's in the shop and she's talking to her mom, and she's getting ready for her appointment. She's talking to her mom about her appointment. She's telling her mom that she only wants her there. She said because she knows that if she invites Zach, Fatima gonna come, and she didn't want to invite Aaron because Aaron was gonna be trying to outdo everybody. And so that's going on, and I'm thinking, Karen, you literally, you did this though. Like, you knowingly got involved with two guys, one of which was your ex, who you knowingly were in an off and on relationship with, and then you knowingly got involved with Aaron to piss Zach off. You're acting like you were forced to do this when you weren't forced to do this. This is something that you did on your own free will. You're not a victim here, baby. You did this. You did these things because you wanted to do them. And now that the dust has settled and you're now pregnant with twins by these two guys, you're acting like this helpless person, and you don't want nothing to do with it, and you don't want to deal with either person. One, because Zach done moved on, and two, because Aaron really does want to be there for you. Aaron really does want to be there for you. He really does want to be there for the baby and the other baby, which, again, you asked him to do this. These are all evidence of the choices that you made. So you can't have it both ways, Pooh. So anywho, I'm sorry, I got on the tangent. So her mom is like, oh, you're gonna be okay because I'm gonna be there at the appointment and I'm gonna help you deal. And the reason I went there, y'all, is because her mom, and that's the other thing, and that's the other piece of it too, y'all. I don't like the fact that Miss Lisa be babying Karen, and that's another thing. Karen act the way that she act because her mama be babying her. Her mama her mama be babying her, and Karen gets away with a lot of stuff that she do because her mama be, oh, Karen, baby, it's okay. No, it's not okay. Karen is not a victim. She not a villain all the time because she don't do stuff by her. Now, I want to be clear. Karen ain't a villain all the time because everything not Karen's fault. Karen be doing some stuff now. She do some stuff. Karen do be wrong. But everything is not Karen's fault. But I'm making a point to say that I find it very funny that this season, Karen is being made to look like this helpless individual that has been forced into everything, when that's not the case. That ain't the case at all. Karen didn't get pregnant by herself. She didn't get forced into this situation by herself. Karen got involved with Aaron to piss Zach off. Karen thought that telling Zach that she was pregnant was going to make Zach come to his senses and leave Fatima alone. And it didn't plan out that way. It didn't work that way. But anyway, Karen also talks to her mom about Pam. She lets her mom know. She lets her mom know that about the situation. So Karen brought up Pam to her mom, and before that, she was talking about how she's having financial problems, and she thanked her mom for helping her out. And Miss Lisa was like, you still having financial issues? And I'm like, yes. Thank you so much for asking that question, because I personally do not understand how Karen is still struggling financially. And I'm gonna tell y'all why I say that. I'm gonna get to that in a second. But let me finish this scene real quick. So she was like, yeah, because Pam used the business account to whip up her stuff, to whip up her little Rooster Riches stuff. And so Miss Lisa was like, baby, the longer you hold off with telling Pam how you feel, the more your resentment towards her is gonna grow, right? Which I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. So Karen was like, well, I don't want to say nothing to her because I don't want to make it seem like I'm jealous of her, and I don't want to make it seem like I resent her, because I don't resent her. And so Miss Lisa was like, no, yes you do. You do resent her. She used your business account to get her business started. She used your business account to get her business started, and now she's using your shop to sell her products, and her business is successful. Meanwhile, your business is struggling. You do resent her. So be honest. So it's twofold. While Karen does need to be honest about how she feels, Karen, you need to be honest with your feelings. But you also need to tell the truth. You need to tell your mama the whole truth now. You need to tell your mama the whole truth, because I don't think you're telling your mama the whole truth. Pam came to you with these products and tried to sell these products. And I'm sorry, Pam came to you and said, let's use these products for your business. She said, these products is going to put Karen's Fresh Start on the map. Go back and, y'all, take a minute and go back and watch season 7. I think it's episode 1. I want to say it's either episode 1, episode 2. One of the two. But go back and watch that episode. Pam came to Karen first and told Karen, she said, these products is going to put us on the map. Pam tried to put Karen on. If y'all go back and look at that episode, Pam was really trying to help Karen out. She was trying. If y'all go back and look at them previous episodes when season 7 first started, Pam was really trying to help Karen with social media presence. She was going live at that shop before the grand opening. She was going live when they was trying to get the business back, when they was trying to get the business relaunch, the re-grand opening, and all of that stuff. Pam said, "Yep, I done bought some stuff. I done bought because I think it was bull semen, something like that. But whatever it was, Pam told Karen, yeah, girl, I done bought this stuff, and yeah, I used the business account to do it, but it's gonna help, and it is going to really get your business going, and you and me, we're gonna make a whole lot of money for your business." She told Karen that. Karen didn't want to do it. Karen told her to take the stuff back, because she didn't want to do it. I want to say something happened to where, and y'all keep me honest in the comments, but I believe something happened to where some of the products couldn't go back, or she couldn't get the money back, or something like that. So Pam said, okay, forget it. I'm going to launch my own business with it. So I understand Karen being resentful because Pam used her bid, because Pam used her account to do it. But Karen also needs to be completely honest with her mama and tell the full story, because Pam tried to put Karen on, and Pam tried to help Karen, not just with the salon, but Pam really has been trying to help Karen business-wise. So we're not gonna act like Pam just been this just horrible person all the time now. Karen, don't do that. Don't do that now. Don't do that, because I had to think about it. And I had to think about it the whole, because I said, hasn't Pam really been trying to put Karen on out the gate? Now, it's still up in the air about that $5,000 in previous seasons. But I don't think Pam no thief. You know what I'm saying? And let me know what y'all think in the comments about what I'm about to say. I really do believe that all of this is exposing the fact that that Karen is just not good with managing her money. It's not Pam's responsibility to pay Karen's insurance. It's Karen's responsibility to pay her own insurance. When you lapse in insurance, that means that you haven't paid in months. Now, of course, this is Tyler. I can't say Tyler Perry no more. But of course, I know this is a show. But let's be honest. You have to go months before, for instance, State Farm insurance. You have to go at minimum between 60 and 90 days before they give you a call or send you a letter in the mail and say you have a week to pay, or you no longer have insurance no more. With your car insurance, you have to go at least 60, 90, 120 days, 180 days or something My point is, you have to go a very long time of not paying your insurance before they call you. To get a phone call from the insurance, to get a phone call, to get an aggressive phone call from the insurance people, and them saying you need to figure something out. I need payment immediately, or you gonna be out on the street. That mean that mean you ain't been paying, and that's not Pam's fault. Karen just ain't been paying. That's not Pam's fault. That's Karen's fault, because Karen ain't been paying. So we can sit up here and blame Pam all we want to, but at the end all be all, it is Karen's fault that Karen has not been paying her bills. So that happened. Let's see what else happened. And I'm probably going to be all over the place because, like I said, I'm reviewing 2 episodes at the same time. Tamara went to Gary, tried to extort him for $500,000. He told her that she ain't worth nothing, and he basically said, "Chad, did your mama drop you on the head as a crack baby?" She got offended by that, spit on the floor. There was a new guy that came to Sabrina's bank. I'll get to him later, but I want to talk about Tiffany. Soldier Tiff, tell him. That's what I call her that on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter if y'all not already. I'll put my handle in the comment section. She barged into Danny's house. Now, I want to say something about that, but I'm gonna talk about this scene. She barged into Danny's house with a vape pen that her daughter stole from Danny's house. I want to say shout out to Danny, because Danny handled that scene very well. Danny was like, "That's my vape pen. She obviously took it from me. I wouldn't knowingly give that to a child. She obviously stole that from my house." The Tiffany lady was like, "The more I be around you, you are a horrible influence on my child." Danny said, "Look, let's just cut to the chase. All this passive aggressive behavior, this is just you trying to draw a wedge between me and Tony, and who is your ex-husband, by the way, and it's not gonna happen. That's my man, and I'm not going away that easily, so you can get out of my house." Tiffany showed her true colors and was like, "Well, one thing I know about him is he loves our children more than life itself. So the moment I tell him that you had drugs around my child, he gonna send you packing." I said, "Oh, there she is." I said, "Oh yeah, there she is. There she is." And as soon as Danny said, "Look, you can stop with the passive aggressive behavior. I know what you're trying to do." What do I always say? The moment you expose the devil, they either gonna become themselves or they gonna get out the house. They gonna get out. And that's exactly what Tiff did. She exposed herself. She exposed herself for who she really was. And then she pushed Danny in her own house. And then she left. Danny said, "You get one of them." Now let me say something about this scene. Shout out to Danny, because ain't no way G.I. Tiff will come in my house, walk in my own house, and push me, and I just not do nothing about it. I don't care if you in the army for the Lord. Okay, you ain't just gonna walk in my house and push me. Okay, so I just want to say that first off. Secondly, people can say what they want to say about Danny, but Danny's character development is probably one of the only that is growing in season 7, and we see that We subtly see that in a lot of scenes, and I personally saw it here. I saw it here because you saw Danny take a minute and catch herself. I personally can definitely tell that therapy is working for her. It's working for her because, first of all, she didn't fight that woman, and she had every right to fight that woman for trying to dominate that woman, walking into her house and pushing her before she left. Danny could have killed that woman, and she would have had every right to. Okay. Thirdly, let me say, a season and a half ago, Fatima walked into Karen's house, and there was and the Karen fans wreaked havoc on social media. And it was silence when Tiffany walked into Danny's house. Where was the smoke for Tiffany for walking into Danny's house? Okay? I want to know y'all thoughts. Why was it okay for Tiffany to walk into Danny's house, but when Fatima walked into Karen's house a season and a half ago, after Karen tried to sleep with Zach, and here we are now, Tiffany, who is Tony's ex-wife, we see her trying to sleep with Tony again and trying to visibly ruin a relationship between Danny and Tony. Is it because they were married that she's entitled to do that? Is it because they have children together that she's entitled to do that? I want to know y'all thoughts on that. Put them in the comments. Let's talk about it. Anyway, so then fast forward, Danny and Tony are sitting down and they're talking about it. Danny tells Tony, y'all need to do something about your daughter because your daughter stole from my house and your wife came to my house and was disrespectful to me. And you need to do something about that. Tony basically is like, well, he's basically not doing anything about it or whatever. And they get into an argument about that. There's a few things that I want to say about Tony. I have a lot of things that I want to say about Tony. And I'm wondering if I want to say them on this video. Yes, I'm going to say them on this video. Okay. Tony is very condescending, and I thought I liked him at first, and I'm trying not to dislike Tony because he does make some good points, but oh God. Danny tells Tony that his daughter stole from her. He doesn't want to do anything about it. She then tells him that his ex-wife barges into her house, pushes her. He also then doesn't want to do anything about it. Now, I will say that Danny probably shouldn't tell him how to discipline his child. There is definitely a sensitive matter because Danny and Tony only have been together for a little while. They're not married, right? However, Tony also shouldn't spring babysitting on a woman that he barely knows and on a woman who has said to him, I don't like kids, I don't really want kids. If his child would have took that vape pen to school and CPS would have been called, what were you going to say, Tony? What were you going to say to them? Huh? Tony, what were you going to say? Oh, well, I needed somebody to keep my child. Because Tony, why couldn't you call your mama? You couldn't call your mama you couldn't call your mama to keep your kids? Cause come to find out, y'all had a whole doggone sleepover at your mama house. Why you couldn't call your mama to keep your kids, Tony? But what if she, to Tiffany's point, what if y'all kid would have took that vape pen to school? Then what, Tony? What if CPS would have been like, well, Tony, what if they would have asked, well, where did you get the vape pen? From Miss Danny, my daddy's girlfriend. How are you gonna answer those questions, Tony? Ooh, child. Ooh. Ooh, Lord. But the way that Tony just comes down on Danny. You know what I'm saying? I don't like that. And then when she rightfully so defends herself, he gets upset about that. I don't like that. I do not like that at all. And then on top of that, he feels like sex is the answer to everything, and it's not. It's not at all. And at first, when in early episodes, I thought that he was good for her. I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna keep watching. I don't know. But you know what? I guess at the same time, this is the first. I don't know. Y'all. I don't know. But anyway, let's see what else happened in the episode. Andy. So Andy is Andy. Andy is going through it, baby. Andy is going through it, and my heart definitely goes out to her, because what we are seeing in Andy is she is really in fight or flight mode. I mean, we are really seeing post-traumatic stress play out in real time with Andy, and it is sad to see, truly. She is being extorted by her narcissistic abuser. And oh my gosh, my heart breaks for her, truly. For real. You know, so I actually got it wrong. The episode came on with her pretty much in zombie mode. You know what I'm saying? Because Gary actually told her, he basically told her that she marries him, or he is going to get the cartel to kill Jordan. And she's basically replaying that scene in her mind. And so she's in the office and she's crying about that, and she, with her she'd rather be tied to Gary than have Jordan die, so that happened at the beginning of the episode. So she's basically at work and she's stuck. You know what I'm saying? She's stuck. Fatima comes in, sees it, and she's like, what's wrong? And she was like, no, nothing, it's, girl stuff. And so Fatima was like, no, it's something. No, I've known you long enough to know when something's up. Now, one thing that I loved, and I've always loved about Fatima and Andy, is Fatima being discerning and Fatima knowing that something is wrong with Andy. And Fatima, I want to get into this really quickly. Fatima has this undying loyalty to Andy. And I want to know what that's about. She's always had it. Ever since Fatima got added to Sisters permanently, she's always had that. And I want to know what that's about. I've always wanted to know what that was about. But so she was sitting down and she was talking to Andy, trying to see what was up. trying to see, what it is. And, Andy finally told her, she was like, it's Gary, he's trying to ruin my life. And so Miss Marie ended up coming and was in the conference room. And so in the midst of that, Zach was calling because, Zach was calling to let her know that Karen called and was like, the baby's appointment, that, the baby, there was an appointment because to see the twins on the ultrasound, and that she wanted him there, and she also wanted Fatima there too. Now, I'm wondering if Karen is genuine about that, or if she knows that she need money, and she knows that if she play nice with Zach and Fatima, that he'll give her whatever it is that she needs. I think it's both. More so the latter, because I think that, and I actually was talking to my homegirls about this. I think that Karen Karen knows that this is her reality. This is her reality now. This is her reality. Nothing she can do about it. She's pregnant. The babies are here now. So might as well make the best of it. And she knows that she can't get rid of Fatima. She done tried everything to get rid of her, and she can't. Zach not leaving Fatima, so she might as well deal with what is. And she knows that she knows that if she's gonna deal with Zach, she's gonna be dealing with Fatima. So might as well play nice, quote unquote. So she calls Zach, tells him that. Of course, he's happy. He calls Fatima, let him know that. But however, Michael is sick. So he lets Fatima know in the midst of Fatima trying to take care of Andy too, that baby Mike's fever broke, and all of that. So Fatima is like, hold on, Andy. So Fatima's trying to do everything all at once. And this is the downside that I don't like to see with Fatima, is Fatima be trying to take care of everybody and everything all at once. And Andy is like, Fatima, I'm good. You that's family. Take care of family. Now, personally, I think that Fatima should have went on ahead and went home because Michael was sick. That's my personal opinion. I think that she should have went on ahead and went home and took care of I think that she should have went on ahead and been home with Michael, and let that been that. But that's just my personal opinion. So Zach talking about he can't miss the appointment. Boy, what you mean you can't miss the appointment? Your 3-year-old sick. I also think that since Fatima said she couldn't make the appointment because she was swamped here at work. She was swamped at work. So she said, look, I can't go to the appointment. You're just going to have to go without me. He said, you sure? You're not going to be mad with me? You're not going to be mad with me being with Karen by myself? She said, no, I trust you. Go ahead and go. And so she was like, I trust you. Go ahead and go. You're just going to have to find somebody to watch Michael. Now, that's all she said. She didn't say who to find. She didn't say who to find. She didn't say who not to have at the house. Nothing. And she hurried up and got out the phone and tended to Andy. Now, personally, I think that that's an issue with Fatima. And I don't think she be meaning to do that. But I think that because she be trying to take care of everybody, she doesn't always set clear-cut boundaries. And y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. She don't always set clear-cut boundaries. And then when the chips fall where they may, she be pissed off. Now, at the same time, and y'all, I'm going to say this, and y'all going to understand while I'm saying this once I get to what happened later as to why I'm saying it. Fatima don't set clear-cut boundaries because she be trying to do everything, be there for everybody, and all of, and be here for Andy, be there for Zach, be there for the baby, be the assistant at work, do all, she be trying to, the song Bag Lady. Fatima is the bag lady. She be trying to hold all these bags instead of putting some stuff down. You know what I'm saying? Everything ain't your burden, baby. You know what I'm saying? And she be trying to do everything, and she don't have to. But she be trying to do all of this stuff without setting clear-cut boundaries to Zach. And then when Zach do something, stupid, she be pissed off. She be pissed off. But at the same time, however, there is just some things that Zach should know not to do. God dog, Zachary. But anywho. So, let's see what else happened. As far as the law office goes, because I want to get everything out of the way at the law office. So, Miss Marie, Hayden, and Andy are walking and talking. Miss Marie's like, "Oh, y'all did good today." She was giving them their props and stuff. Pam walks up. I love this scene so much. Pam walks up, and she has samples of her products for everybody. She notices that it's Miss Marie. She said, "I know you effing lying, Marie to the MF Wallace." And so Miss Marie goes, "Yes, the FIM." I said, "Oh my God, I love this so much," because now Miss Marie have her ways, but I love the fact that she's who she is, and I love the fact that Pam is who she is. Pam said she gonna get this product off the ground. Pam said she gonna get this product off the ground. And Pam said she gonna get this product off. She said she gonna make her money. She said that Rooster Riches is gonna be everywhere, and she meant it. So that's what she doing. She said, "Here, Andy, I got one for you. Here, Hayden, I got one for you. Give one to your wife," and everything. She said, "Miss Marie, I done read all your books. I love you so much," and all of this stuff. What Pam did was secured a connection because Miss Marie loved Pam. So they talked and stuff. Pam hugged her, and so Miss Marie was like, "Are you going down? Are you getting on this elevator?" And Pam said yes. And so they talked and stuff, and she said I am the assistant to Andy's best friend in her salon. And so they walked. She said I got started in my kitchen, and she said I'm the assistant. She said I'm her assistant for now and stuff. So Miss Marie and Pam ended up sharing an elevator together, and I love that because that was a connection that Pam made. Miss Marie actually liked Pam, and who knows, Pam may end up being the next Miss Marie. And I love that because that's honestly what you have to do when you are building your own brand. You have to secure your own networks, and hey, I'm here for it. Every time you look up Pam talking about roots to riches, I don't see Karen. I don't see Karen talking about Karen's fresh start. I don't see that happening. Every time we look up, we see Karen with a smug look on her face. Karen is never smiling. Karen don't be out passing out business cards or nothing like that. But you are your own brand, and Pam gets that. She is her brand. I'm here for it. I love it. And who knows, Miss Marie probably put Pam on some major game in that elevator. I love to see it. So, before that happened though, Hayden basically told Miss Marie that he could prove that her ex-husband was cheating. And so that's pretty much how they're going to win the case or whatever. And so that happened. Zach is at home with baby Michael. He was like, okay, little man, the doctor said keep you hydrated. And so he gave him some juice boxes. I'm like, oh God, oh Lord. Okay, he's a first time dad, Jazz. So mama mode in me, I'm like, oh God, Zachary, give the boy some Pedialyte, give him some water, give him some Gatorade. Oh, help me, Holy Ghost. So in walks Deja. His tenant, the same tenant that Fatima does not like, the same tenant that is trying to throw it in a circle as payment to Zach, the same tenant who in the Fatima series broke into the house with Nate and Fatima had to beat up. So this is twice that Fatima done had issues with this woman. The same tenant that was threatening to sue Zach. The same tenant, yes, her. Keep that in mind once I finish telling this. Yes, the same tenant who caused all these issues. She came over to pay her rent. And she said, I know it's late fees and stuff. So yes, she's still late on the rent. Zach goes, what if I promise to waive all the late fees if you do something for me? I'll need you to keep baby Mike. I need you to keep my son for me while I run an errand. So Zach asked Deja to keep his son while he went to the appointment. His son cannot talk. His son is autistic. His son does not know. His son does not know this woman. And this woman does not know his son. So he left a woman who his son cannot communicate with and who his fiance has issues with in his house while he went to an appointment. Instead of just telling Karen, hey, thank you so much. I'm glad that we're all getting along now. Thank you so much for the invite. Thank you so much. Fatima is working late. And my 3-year-old son is not feeling well. How about one of y'all FaceTime me? Or I'll just make the next one. What was so difficult about that? But he thought it was okay to leave Deja with his sick child. That you don't know, Zach, you don't know how she is with kids. You could have came back, and because to spite Fatima, she could have put something in your baby food. Anything could have happened. And because you want to get to this appointment so bad to appease Karen, you leave your 3-year-old son with a woman that he doesn't even know. And he can't even communicate well enough with you to let you know if something happened. Not to mention, do you remember how you involuntarily fasted to get your son out of a do you remember how you involuntarily fasted to get your son out of an unsafe environment? You got beat up to get your son away from people that was harming your child. Heather strapped this boy in a freaking tub, and you and Fatima took him away. Then you took him away again. Y'all kidnapped the boy 3 and 4, 16 freaking times. And you telling me that you thought that it was fine to leave your son with a woman that he don't know? Ooh, Lord. Ooh, y'all, when I watched that scene, I fussed so hard at the television when I watched that scene. Cause y'all are not telling me. I said, you are not telling me, Zach, that you did all that crying, praying heaven down to get your son away from a woman. You wasn't eating, you wasn't sleeping. You crying, talking about it's you can't see in the dark. When Fatima left you, you couldn't eat, sleep, you couldn't poop, you couldn't pee, you couldn't do nothing. Trying to get your son back. You even got Andy faking like she do family court, trying to get your son back. But now you get your son back. You feeding them. Now you feeding your child juice when he got a freaking fever. You bathing him in dishwashing liquid, and you leaving your child with a woman who trying to give up the cookie instead of paying rent. Oh, Lord. Lord, help your people. Help the people in the Sisters universe, please. Please, Lord. Please, Lord. So anyway, this is why I be saying. This is why I said earlier, I understand. I truly do understand that on one hand, Fatima can't just say, well, Zach, just do whatever you, just find somebody to keep him. And then he do find somebody to keep him, right? Because that's what he's going to say. Well, I mean, you did say find somebody to keep him. You idiot. She did not mean let Deja keep him. Because how would you feel? How would you feel if you came home and Ian was keeping him? How would you feel about that? How would you feel if you came to how would you feel? How would you feel if you couldn't make it to the appointment because you had to show a house? How would you feel, Zach, if you and Bryce had to show a house and you couldn't make it to the appointment, and Fatima had to work, but she couldn't find nobody. She couldn't find nobody to watch the baby, but she called Ian. You know what, Ian? Forget your chemo. Can you come home? Can you come over here and watch me and Zach's 3-year-old son, please? I appreciate it. Tell your mom I said hey. Zach really would be not seeing in the dark. Then, child, ooh, blessed be the name. Ooh, honey. Oh, God. So anyway, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. It's Sunday. And church was good. Anyway. So So that happened. Zach gets to the appointment. Well, Karen was like, well, I know it's late, but we got one father missing. Zach comes in. Miss Lisa told him where to stay. Where to stand. And so they looking on the screen or whatever, right? Let's see what else happened. Fatima comes home, notices that Deja is there. Fatima is sitting down drinking wine. Zach comes home and he's like, hey babe, what's up? She's like, oh, nothing. And he's like, this is different. You upset? She was like, no, why would I be upset? And he was like, because I asked your enemy to watch baby Michael. And she was like, why would I be upset about that? You did exactly what I asked you to do, which was find somebody to keep the baby. And he was like, yeah, exactly. And so he was like, can I have a kiss? And so she was like, yeah. And so he comes in for a kiss and she choked him. And so he was like, and so this is what I did. And this is what I be like, oh Lord, Zach. This is where I be like that with him. Because he was like, what if Michael would have came down and saw you choking his daddy? Oh. They really do have him acting like he does not know nothing this season. He was not like this previous seasons. I'm like, is he on medication? Because this is not it. He was not doing this before. I'm like, what is going on? She was like, he was like, where is he anyway? She was like, he's with Angela. She was like, he's with Angela, which is the person that you should have called. He was like, I ain't even think about that. She was like, I know you didn't, which is what you should have done. He was like, she was like, why would you call Deja of all people? I don't rock with her like that. You don't rock with her like that. Like, why would you do that? And she was like, how did the appointment go? And see, that's another thing. They don't discuss things. They just bypass it like it's nothing. No, they need to have discussions about stuff. They need to have discussions. They need to discuss her feelings, his feelings. They need to discuss why. No, we need to have a discussion on why you thought it was okay to. Why did you think it was okay to impulsively invite Deja in our home? I done had 2 fights with this girl. Why would you think that it's okay to have her in our house watching your child? The child that you trust me to help raise with you. Why would you think it's okay to have the woman here? The woman that you know I don't rock with, that you don't rock with. She's just your tenant. You have a business relationship with her and that's it. It is not okay for you to let this girl watch your child. Why would you do that? And they need to talk about that. Why would you do that? They also need to have a conversation about the fact that that Zach just gets so impulsive and all logic goes out the window when it comes to Karen. That is a conversation that they need to have. 'Cause, sir, you didn't think? Karen said, I want you to come and I want Fatima to come too. And you didn't think? Sir, think. Put your doggone thinking cap on, bro. Golly. Oh. All right. What else happened? Sabrina, the guy at the bank. He's over the communications department. He wanted to do an article on Sabrina. And I believe this is how the writers are going to introduce him in the storyline, and a new guy in the storyline who actually wants a family, actually wants a baby. He talked to Sabrina. It's like, I want to do a article on you, and I want us to go to dinner to do it because I want it to be personal. They go to dinner, they get to talking. Rich actually pulls up and thinks that Sabrina is on a date. So he starts acting crazy. He was like, so I text you, you ain't text back. Is this what you was doing? And she was like, this is actually, I forget the guy's name. He's like, he's actually doing a think piece on me. And we're here doing it. And so the guy was like, yeah, guilty as charged. I'm such and such. We actually work together. And so Rich was like, oh man, I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry about that. And so he was like, yeah. He was like, yeah. He was like, oh, no worries. As beautiful as Sabrina is, I'll be acting the same way. She actually was just telling me about you. She was telling me about you guys you guys actually want to start a family. She was telling me about her IVF treatments and stuff, and she's freezing her eggs and stuff like that. That's actually a weird thing to talk about at the bank. That's anyway. So Sabrina was like, oh, I'm actually doing this solo. Rich don't want kids. I'm like, people talk about this at the bank. But anyway, so the episode actually ends with Andy breaking up with Jordan. She goes over to the house and she's like, we haven't worked for some time now, and if it wasn't for me, Penelope wouldn't be in the situation that she's in. And it's not you, it's me. The whole it's not you, it's me buzz. And of course, she's doing that because of Gary. So that's how that episode ended. This episode, baby shower day. So it's 2 weeks later. It starts off at Jordan house, and it's giving Martin. It's giving Martin when Gina and it's really giving Martin when Martin and Gina broke up. Y'all remember that episode when the house was a mess? Martin sitting down on the couch. He ain't bathed in 2 weeks. He stank, and Cole and Tommy had to come over there and check on him. That's how it's giving, because Rich and Tony came over there and checked on him. And he wouldn't come out the house. He didn't want to talk to nobody. Jordan didn't want to talk to nobody. None of that stuff. So they came over there and it was like, look, and so they was like, look, you need to get out of this house. You need to get out of this funk, man. Go smash some chicks, all this. Plus, ain't you running for you in politics, man. Get yourself together. I hope you ain't been out talking to candidates like this. Cause this ain't it. You need to get yourself together, man. Get yourself together. For real. So that happened. Let's see what else happened. Then it switches to Fatima. She's getting her makeup and stuff ready. Zach comes down the stairs. He's excited. And he was like, come on, let's get ready to go. He was like, she was like, I'm doing my makeup. And she was like, and that takes time. And he was like, he noticed that something was wrong with it. And he was like, what's up, man? What's wrong, man? Talk to me. And she was like, I just feel crazy. And she was like, this ain't really how I picture my life. And he was like, what you mean? She was like, I just never thought that I'd be the fiance of a baby daddy. And she was like, I never thought I never envisioned my life going this way, And so let me back up a little bit. To back up a little bit, Karen invited Fatima to the baby shower. Okay. So Fatima is thinking about all of that stuff, right? So Fatima has all of that stuff on her mind. And, she's like, she's trying to be supportive. She's trying to stick beside Zach. She's trying to be diplomatic. She's trying to be nice. She's trying to be positive. She's trying to be peaceful, but at the same time, she's also trying to be true to her core. She's trying to be true to the core of who she is as a person too. She's trying to also keep I believe that she's trying to also keep her dreams and aspirations and stuff in mind as well. Not to mention, her family is the mob. And I know for a fact that she's thinking about that too. I know for a fact she is. I believe that there's an identity shift that Fatima is going through. And y'all let me know if y'all want me to do a video on this, but I believe that there are so many layers of Fatima that we honestly haven't tapped into. We haven't tapped into it on Sisters. We haven't tapped into it on the Zatima show. But we've seen so many sides of Fatima. We've seen the passive side. We've seen the passive aggressive side, how she is in relationships. How Fatima is with her friends, two different people. How she is with Angela, how she was with Belinda, how she is with Andy. They aren't even the same people. Because she's not the same Fatima with everybody. How she is with Zach. And even her friends have even said it. They were like, Fatima, you don't do this. Like, you're not like this. You know what I'm saying? So I really do think that I don't want to call it. And y'all let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. Because I really want to know what y'all think. I don't want to call it an identity crisis, but I really do want Fatima to really tap into who she is. Because I don't think that she knows. Because when you be different people for different people, thank you, Holy Spirit. When you be different people for different people, you don't know who you are. You don't. You don't know who you are when you be different people for different people. And you got to be careful. You got to be careful with that. You got to be careful tapping it. You got to be careful showing up as different people, because when it's time for the real you to surface, you ain't gonna know how to act. You are not gonna know how to act. You are not going to know how to act at all. So she was sitting down with Zach and she was like, I did not picture my life going this way. And I honestly don't think that she was just talking about, being, I don't think that she was only talking about being the baby daddy. Being the fiance of a baby daddy. I think she was talking about a whole bunch of other stuff as well, And he was like, well, how you think I feel? And I'm glad that they had this talk. I'm glad they both shared their truth. But I really want Zach to get to a point where he just let Fatima talk. I really want the writers, if you are listening to my review, please write a scene where you just let Zach listen to Fatima, no interruptions, where he just listened to her. No interruption where how you think I feel? That was I love the moment. I think it was beautiful because again, they shared. They both, she shared her truth, he shared his, and I loved it, because I love when Zach and Fatima talk and they share how they both feel. However, however, this was a moment. He said, "What's wrong, babe? Talk to me." She said, "I just didn't picture my life going this way." He should have just listened and let her get all of that out. Because he did, for one, he did ask. And two, we have, Fatima does not have a safe space. She does not have one. A space where she can get her feelings and her thoughts and stuff out. So he was like, "Well, how you think I feel? I didn't envision being a baby, a man with a whole bunch of kids." So he says that, and so she laughs about it or whatever. And so then he was like, "Well, if you will, if you don't want to go, you don't have to go. I'll just tell them that something came up." And so this is where the people please inside of her comes in, where she was like, "Well, no, I'll go. I'll go because I was invited. Now, I'm trying to put my best foot forward, and I'm trying to, I'm trying to deal. We have to deal with it. And I'm trying to put my best foot forward, and I'm trying to be positive and stuff." He then goes, "Good, because I was lying. I need you there, and I want you there." Zach. So now she now feels like she's obligated to go. And even if she did say that she didn't want to go, it's almost like you're bullying her into going. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Like, I love, don't get me wrong, I love them. I really do. But however, it's like I don't know. This season is not, it's just, they're not communicating like I know they have the potential to do. Like they're not communicating like they have before. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm saying? So, let's see what else happened. Cause this episode was pretty much the shower, okay? Miss Lisa talked to Karen. Karen was like, Miss Lisa told her that she looked pretty, told her that she looked beautiful and stuff, and told her, basically gave her another point of view to look at it. She was like, I didn't picture my life going this way either. I didn't picture myself, Karen was like, I didn't picture myself being pregnant with 2 kids by 2 baby daddies and stuff like that. So Miss Lisa was like, well, shoot, if I had your support system, I probably would have been different than I was with you, and you probably would have turned out different and stuff, because Miss Lisa was single, right? And so she was like, you got a good support system, you got a good village and stuff. Basically Miss Lisa was like, lean on your village, you got people, right? And so Karen was like, yeah, but they bicker and they fight and stuff all the time. And so I'm like, we were doing fine, Karen, because here's the thing. Don't act like you don't do it too. Karen, come on now. Don't act like you don't be fighting and arguing and all of this stuff right along with them. Don't act like that. Don't do that. Now, don't do that now. Don't do that. So, that happened. Sabrina was at the bank. Maurice is funny. Maurice and Pam are a good duo. They really are. Pam and Maurice are a good duo. Pam had the Roots to Riches stuff at the shower, and Andy, let's see, Andy was at the office, and Andy, Hayden, and Miss Marie were in the conference room, Miss Marie noticed that Andy was distracted. Hold on, before I do that. After Rich and Tony left, he got a phone call from Penelope. Let me say this. Penelope, honey, you're not supposed to call anybody when you are in witness protection. It's called witness protection. It's to protect the witness. You're not even supposed to have your legal name when you're in witness protection, baby. Now, writers, I love y'all, but do y'all know what witness protection is? Penelope, baby, you're not even supposed to be in Atlanta, Pooh. You're supposed to be somewhere you're supposed to be in Atlanta, Texas. In Atlanta, Louisiana. You're supposed to be in a small town where there's only one gas station, where the mall is Walmart. Where the town population is 75 people. And your name is supposed to be Marie Wallace, Alyssa Marie, or something like that. Claudia Jordan, Claudia Baptiste, or some crazy name. Something. Your name ain't supposed to be Penelope. You're supposed to have a burner phone. And you supposed to have a Dora the Explorer wig. And you supposed to work as a teacher. Don't ask me how I know this. Mind your business. Anyway. She calls Jordan, and they are talking. She tells him the baby didn't make it. He goes, I'm sorry, I know how much you wanted to be a mom, and I'm be praying for you. I said, Jordan, you better pray. You better be a guy. You better pray, sir. She tells him you need to win. You need to win this election. You need to fight. And you need to get Andy back. I'm like, y'all do know that y'all are not supposed to be talking right. So I wanted to make sure that I talked about that scene. But writers, if y'all are watching, I love the drama, but make the drama realistic. As a fan of the show, and as a fan of the show who's been a fan, and as a fan of the show who intently watches the show, and I mean intently, I watch the show several times, and I get something new every single time I watch the show. I personally don't mind some of the drama. Some, not all. I don't mind drama. Just make the drama realistic. Penelope being in witness protection is okay. But witness protection still being Penelope is not realistic. I watch enough crime shows to know that witness protection in Atlanta, still living in Atlanta with her real name, is not realistic. With her own phone in a hotel in Atlanta is not realistic. She ain't even supposed to be her no more. I just wanted to say that. That's it. That's all. Anyway, let's see what else happened. Oh, back to the so Miss Marie notices that Andy is distracted, and before that, Hayden was like, I noticed this amount right here. It went to this person. And so she was like, okay, I helped him set up. Okay, what does that prove? I helped him set up a whole bunch of accounts and a whole bunch of aliases. That does not prove that he was cheating. I need accurate proof that he was cheating. And so he was like, okay, I'll get more. And she was like, Andy, why are you letting this man show you up? You distracted. Why are you letting this man show you? And this made me laugh. She was like, why are you letting Hayden show you up when I know that I know that you are a better attorney than he is. And you sitting up here, you ain't saying nothing. You're not saying nothing. You are distracted. You haven't said nothing this whole time we've been meeting. And you are letting him show you up, and he's your co-counsel. And so Hayden was like, while I'm offended, I agree. She is distracted. And so Andy was like, I'm sorry, I have a baby shower that I need to get to. And so Miss Marie was like, okay, well, don't let me stop you. She said it sarcastically, but she looked at Andy and was like, remember what I told you when I first met you. You need to be 3 steps ahead of everything and everybody. That was a warning. I personally think that was a warning, and that was also some advice. And the reason I say that is because Miss Marie is well connected. She has resources and she has means. You don't become a billionaire in Atlanta and not know or have your ear to the streets. She told Gary about Andy, about how she knew that he bought that penthouse for her, that he was laundering money and all kind of stuff. So I am to believe that Miss Marie knows the stuff that is going on with Andy. And I believe that is why Miss Marie is currently sleeping with Hayden. I believe that Miss Marie is going to get Andy out of this mess that she is in. I believe that. But my heart breaks for Andy, because what we're seeing with Andy is traumatic. But poor thing don't know whether she coming or going. And come to find out, the girls literally have not seen Andy in 2 weeks. Where has Andy been? I can only imagine the stuff that Gary has had Andy doing in 2 weeks. If she hasn't been at her house, if she has not been with Jordan for 2 weeks, if Penelope ain't seen her, because she can't go to Penelope because Gary told her to shut that down. And if she didn't, he was gonna kill Jordan. So if she hasn't been, so y'all walk with me right quick. If she has not been with the FBI for the case to help put Gary in jail, if her friends, because come to find out, her friends and stuff hadn't seen her since she broke up with Jordan, because this episode that aired was 2 weeks later, right? So if she hadn't seen Jordan, if she hadn't seen her friends in 2 weeks, Fatima even said she's distracted and stuff at work, and she's not able to contact her after hours. I can't even imagine the stuff that Gary has had her doing for 2 weeks, because Andy literally looks like a kidnapped victim that is trapped and can't get out. And it's sad. And the fact that her friends don't notice it, but her friends are currently fussing at her and making jokes at her, talking about, are you a spy? Are you a spy? I don't like when your whole thing they fuss at her. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Yeah, poor thing. Poor thing. You know, and of course, in the fandom, it's easy to say, Andy is stupid and stuff like that, but this is on a whole other spectrum. Cause yeah. So back to the shower. So everybody's at the shower, and this episode is gonna be a little shorter, but at the shower and stuff, Rich and Tony were a little off, a little mean and stuff to Andy, because of course, Andy broke up with their homeboy. Karen gave a speech, and she was like, she made Danny and Sabrina godparents. Let's see what else. Zach and Aaron are having girls. Of course, Fatima felt the way about that. Y'all let me know if y'all want me to do a video about that in the comments. Karen actually gave in her speech, she tells Fatima, I see, we've had a rocky road, but I see how you are with Michael, and I see the way that you keep Zach accountable and being a good father, and I know that you're going to be a good addition to my kids as well. And Fatima was like, I'll be honored to be a bonus mom to your kids. Gary comes in at the end and announces that him and Andy are going to get married, after basically calling everybody out their name. He calls Fatima out her name, and Zach didn't do nothing. Of course, he took off his jacket like he was going to do something. But here's my thing, even with that. We done seen Zach, child, he beat up Hayden in law office. In the Fatima, he knocked his own brother off crack for calling Fatima out her name. But you telling me he didn't do nothing to Gary? Baby shower or not, you ain't that man called your woman out her name, and you ain't gonna step. It was like 5 men in there, and they ain't do nothing to Gary. But yeah, that was the episode. That pretty much was the episode. Y'all let me know if I missed anything. Child, I know this is a lot. I'm trying to think if I missed anything. If I did, I'll do another video. But it's already late. I will do my best to be a lot more punctual. I've missed you guys. A lot. But I pray that you guys have a good week, and I love y'all in real life.